journey. This man fits the theme of the show. Mr. Marial Shayok with us today. Great story. A guy who's still currently working and doing his thing. And we appreciate him taking time out of his workout plan and things like that to sort of chop it up with us and share his story a little bit. And how you doing, man? How's everything?
Oh, well, first, appreciate you having me. I'm great, man. All is well. Doing really well.
Good. And when I got your name recommended to me, we won't talk about how long ago, but just sort of reading and hearing about your story and seeing what you've been through and all the things that you've been doing. I think I'm pretty excited about this one. I think you have lots to share. What's a day in the life like for you right now? We talked about you just finished your workout. So is it early morning, shoot, lift, stretch? Like where are we at? And what's the off season look like for you?
Yeah, pretty much. This off season consists of a lot of rehab. So in February, I had a sports hernia. So I ended my season mid-year. So just got surgery in March. So just been trying to get back healthy, and I'm really super close from playing live. So exciting times. I feel great. My body feels great. My mind's in a great space. So I'm excited. So yeah, right now I'm back home in Ottawa, Canada, where I'm from. Just pretty much just training every morning. Get up. I'm a super early guy, so I get up pretty early and do my routine, do my yoga, my breathing, and just get ready for the day to try to win the day. So no, that's just pretty much what's going on with me right now.
Where did you learn about like breathing and yoga? Is that something that you implemented in yourself? Did you have a trainer or mentor or something? Because I think it's something that's super important, and a lot of I'm an old head and I'm just a PE high school teacher coach and I do it, right? So it's like, where did that get introduced to you?
I've always been doing this. But recently, I would say about August, I intentionally been doing it with, especially with more intention, and learning about my body and my mind more. And just the benefits it's done for me, on and off the court has been great. So I'll continue to just kind of, improve at that. It's just helped me just, stay level-headed, stay calm, in high situations and in low situations, try to keep my composure with my breathing. And when I notice my breathing is off, try to get back into that space. So it's really working for me, for sure.
I'm smiling because you're doing it from an athlete's perspective. Are you a parent yet?
No, I'm not.
No. Okay. So I'm thinking I do it so I don't freaking lose it on my kid. try to stay in that moment.
For sure. It's for everyone.
For real.
That breathing gets off a lot, and just trying to get centered back into that space where we're calm is, it's essential for me at least.
Nice. And we were just chopping it up here before we kind of started the episode. You've got an exciting, showcase and event coming up, and it'd be great if you could just let the listeners know about what's happening. And I think it's a pretty big honor for yourself and something I'm sure you're pretty excited about.
For sure. It's first annual Shayok Summer Showcase. It's a 2-day event, targeting like 11th and 12th graders here in the city. This really first thought about it when I came home from the season. Obviously heard from my surgery, so I had a lot more time on my hands, and always wanted to do a camp, for like a community out here in Ottawa. And this was just a perfect way to go about it. I feel like just having this 2-day, first day of the combine like feel. So I'm gonna get over about 100 kids. So, be in front of coaches, and hopefully try to create their own luck, put them in positions to, look good. And again, the kids that have aspirations of playing at the next level, that's what I'm truly doing it for. And then the next day will be a tournament consisting of the 4 teams that I chose. And the whole thing will be a fundraiser. So all the proceeds will go back to these teams. So ultimately, just grow the game of basketball here in the city. And then, again, there's going to be pop-up events, and local businesses are going to be able to, have opportunities to partner with me here at the tournament, so they can, gain a fan base and a following too. We could all just win together. So that's really just wanting to get the community together here in Ottawa. And again, just using the game of basketball, really just pushing it forward. So I'm super excited for it.
Respect, man. I kind of makes the hair stand up on my arms. I appreciate and respect that, man. Good for you.
I appreciate you.
That's really dope, man. What's the best way someone who maybe sees something out there in the media or listens to this episode, what's the best way that they can contact you or whoever's going to kind of be helping you so that they can get involved?
So we just dropped a social media page for it. I actually just got back on social media. I was off the grid for a while. So I'm just going to be promoting it as best I can. Go to the website also too. So there's going to be different ways to go about finding ways to be involved. And I'll be looking for talent out here in the city. And it's just the first year. And I plan on doing it for the rest of my career and hopefully beyond. So If kids are able to attend this year, hopefully to be able to attend next year and years to come. So exciting times for sure.
For sure. And all the people that are listening, we'll make sure we get a link up and you can follow and register and get involved that way. And I say it all the time, I played my university hoops in the early 2000s. I've been a high school teacher since. And, I try to preach to the kids, but I think it's so important. We have some people like yourselves that are still highly involved in the actual playing of the game. I think, and it's no knock. I just think sometimes when it comes from a younger perspective, kids connect to it a little bit more. They understand that maybe you're a little bit closer to the things that they're dealing with than I am, even though I try to stay current and fresh. And those are important things, and nothing but good's going to come away. So kudos and props to you for doing that, man. Way to go. That's amazing.
Thank you. Again, I think it's really important for the kids that are trying to play ball right now, at least for the city of Ottawa, to be connected to the ones that came even before me, the guys that I watched. They inspired me too. So just having that connection and finding ways to be in one space where we can all connect and they can learn from the guys that did it before them. And again, just grow the game of ball, whatever they want to do here. So again, I'm just so excited, for everybody involved.
Yo. And let's do that, man. You talk about being a young guy and looking up to guys. Talk about yourself as a young kid, kind of where you came from, how what Ottawa was like, and why basketball became the sport for you.
Yeah, born and raised in Ottawa, Canada. Youngest of 5 siblings, basketball family. My dad played basketball in the late 80s, early 90s at Dayton, Ohio, University of Dayton. So he moved to Canada. Essentially just sacrificed his playing career so, he could have our family come to Canada with him and, and stay there and make it a home. So still basketball in us at an early age. My sister played University of Detroit and my brother played at University of Kansas City. Both played professionally too. Those are my inspirations. Just growing up there, that's all I did. Basketball was my love and my passion, just like it is now. And again, moved out of Canada after grade 11. Moved to Jersey, Blair Academy, where the prep school out there, which was really good for me. So I was able to, gain a lot more exposure in America. And coming from Canada as a pretty good player, I think going to the States, especially at that time, just kind of magnified that. So I was able to, get a lot of offers and interest from different schools. And eventually,
what year is this?
This is
Sorry, I don't mean to date you. But
I left Canada in 2012, which makes me feel old.
Yeah,
I left in high school. Yeah.
Get used to it.
High school in 2012.
Okay.
And it was a great experience. I've been away ever since. But committed to the University of Virginia. And played first 3 years there at the college level. Had a really good 3 years over there before I transferred to Iowa State. Ottawa has been my home. It's the foundation, and always love coming back and seeing my friends and family. And it's a place, it's a place I really want to be.
For sure.
When I have time, at least.
Yeah. So what's the combo? Is it 3 brothers, 2 sisters, 4 brothers, 1 sister? What do we got at home?
So the first three are girls, and then my brother's right above me.
Oh, so you guys had to fight for yours, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
So where did more of the influence come from? Was it pops? Was it your siblings who you talked about? Was it a combo of it all? Like, did you just feel like because you spent your life just being around the game, there was like no choice and you just jumped into it and loved it? Or how did that go for you?
I mean, the game was always around me for sure. Definitely, I think I fell in love with it, like for real, around like 8 years old when I realized I really wanted to do this. The inspiration came from everywhere. I mean, basketball junkie, really. My brother is my favorite player growing up. Super tall, lanky, skilled guy who really taught me how to play. And I was living in a basketball neighborhood with a lot of good basketball players, like Greg Carter that played at Lakehead, had a really good career at CIS. He's like a brother to me too. I watched growing up, and just guys around the city that may not have names to the public or like be known to the public, but really inspired me at least. I was watching a lot, obviously, along with just NBA as much as possible when I was younger growing up. So basketball came from a lot of different inspirations.
I love it. And so, like, I mean, you talk about grade 11, so your junior year, you're like 16, turning 17. How does one decide, like, were you involved in the provincial teams or a club system in Ottawa and you just thought, hey, I need more of a challenge? Like, was there a connection down south? Why make that choice? I mean, you're not that old, so don't worry about it. But like, it's still in 2012, 13, that's kind of a rare thing still for someone to sort of leap down in their senior year, right? Like it's happening, but not maybe as much as it is now. So how do you come to that decision and figure that out, especially being the youngest of five and sorting through all that?
It was just a matter of time for me being the youngest. My brother did it. He
Okay.
moved to Chicago and played high school basketball there. My sister went to University of Detroit. So like going to the States was just, something that I had to do if I wanted to go to where I wanted to go,
Mm-hmm.
But even being in Ottawa, I played Team Canada, grade 10, grade 11. And they were really good for me. But just having constant, university coaches coming to my practices, coming to my games is something I couldn't get in Ottawa at the time. So just moving to Jersey was great for me. And I'm glad I did so, because I was really able to really grow up. First time living alone at 16, living in a boarding school, learning time management, learning how to be responsible, and to just get to know different people from different walks of life, people from all over the world go to that school. So it was just a great experience for me. I'm glad I did it. It helped shape me for who I am today, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Boarding school, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about time management.
Blazers and khakis and all types of, yeah, for sure. But no, going to boarding school was great, man, for real.
And obviously, someone who's going to make that decision isn't likely going to a school that doesn't take athletics seriously, right? So what were some of the things you noticed right off the bat when you stepped on campus? Was there a level that you hadn't seen? Did you feel like you fit in right away? How'd that go for you?
Basketball wise or
basketball wise. Yeah.
I felt right at home because I was already playing, in America prior. I was playing AAU with summer basketball with CIA Bounce. So they were traveling. They were the number one team in Canada at the time. So we were traveling every weekend, going to different tournaments. And I felt I was just only gaining confidence the more I played. Again, I just try to do as much as I can to control what I could, even at a young age, and let the chips fall where they may. So I felt confident going into Jersey. I knew it'd be a good situation for me, and I just wanted to come in there and just help the team as much as possible. It was a great situation.
The best part about this podcast is not everybody's had the opportunity to meet me, and I haven't been able to meet you in person. But if you know me, you know I have the body of an Adonis. But I also like a cold beer. Head to Parkside, support our guys. Find them in the local government stores, whatever you got to do. If you're at a pub or a bar locally, ask if they're on tap. Give them some love. Our guy Sam and the people there have been so good to us. We can't say enough. We hope to see you at Parkside. Yeah, obviously it worked out quite well for you. And as the chips started to sort of, in that senior year, you're getting some interest. Your coaches are talking. We're talking Virginia. Prime program. Like, how did were there some other schools? Was it always going to be Virginia? Like, how did you make that choice?
I actually committed and signed to Marquette initially senior year, right before I started. Right before I started my senior year, like a little and at the beginning of it. And but the coach had left, Buzz Williams. He had left to Virginia Tech at the time of the tournament. So something I even forget I signed there. But I was gonna go there. That was a school I thought was going to be a good fit, but he had left and ended up going to Virginia instead. So that's how I went about it. And I had a good amount of schools, highly recruited, a bunch of schools in the Big East and the ACC, and it's just a matter of where I felt like I was going to be comfortable. And I was super confident, especially back then, just that no matter where I went, I was going to be all right. I kind of wish I was a little bit more humble at the time, so I would have probably maybe been more strategic about personnel fit and how my game would, translate into these different other programs. But now UVA was a great place for me, honestly. Despite me even leaving, it was a good situation. I definitely learned a lot and met a lot of great people.
I'd like to just pause for station identification there for the young people listening, to the Utes out there. This is why we need people like yourself. You just gave a huge reflection there, right on. I wish I was a little more humble so I could sort of piece it together a little bit more. So that's why it's important what you're doing. And you may be busy, man, on that weekend of your showcase, but if you get a chance to talk directly to 2, 3, 5 athletes and answer a few questions, you're already helping grow the game, man. So that's super dope.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely plan on having like a dialogue segment where not even myself, but also other pros out here in the city, they could just go back and forth and have a real conversation with kids that, may have a know-it-all mindset, or maybe just seeking knowledge. Either or, they're going to be in the right place to just learn.
Yeah. And we've had like a variety of guests, right? And like some people that have gone to, like Virginia, big school, and maybe, upon reflection, maybe it was a little much or not the right fit. And some people kind of mid-major, so it's like very interesting to hear everybody's sort of story. And once you get to Virginia, talk about that experience. I mean, elite level program, making the tournament, like just sort of practices, games, like big time D1 hoops.
Yeah, I mean, going to UVA, that was great. I mean, we started off like, I don't think we lost a game until the end of January. So I was like, man, this is college. Like, we were winning every game.
This is easy.
We're number 2 team in the country. I was playing really well off the bench. We had a bunch of great older players that I got to look up to and learn from, like Malcolm Brogdon and Justin Anderson and Mike Toby. Right, went to my high school, so we had that connection too. And again, my peers, like the friends that I got to get close with, are still my friends to this day. So UVA was great, man. It was a lot more defense than I probably would have known coming in, but it was like perfect for me because I got to become a better defender. I got to really use my length and start taking more appreciation and start locking in on the other side of the end. So like again, Virginia was definitely great for me. It was great coming in that first year for sure.
When you think about those times, like, is there a game that sticks out that was like wild? Or I mean, you had a couple nice tournament games. Let's not get it twisted. But is there one where you were like, what the heck just happened? Like, and I mean, you had to have seen it all.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the one that sticks out to me was the Elite Eight game. We were up like almost 20, like 10 minutes left to go to the Final Four. My sophomore year against Syracuse, and they upset us. They got hot. It was in Chicago. The momentum they had, it was crazy. It was a real like March Madness feel. You could feel it happening. Nothing we really could do about it. They're making every shot, and we had beat them pretty much every time in the ACC. So that was like an ACC team matchup in that Elite Eight. But they definitely got the best of it. That's the one that stings when I think about go back to think about Virginia. But also had a lot of great memories too in different wins. So it was a good experience for sure.
And the goddamn zone, man.
That zone, man. And I wasn't even a knockdown shooter then too. So it was like,
So what's from everybody's got opinions nowadays, right? People are gonna hate just to hate. They're gonna comment just to comment. But you as a coach and former player, someone who's watching, watch a lot of hoops and see Syracuse, and it's like, what is it about that zone? Is it like you talk about it? Is it more of that? Here goes that momentum. How do we get it back? Like, is it just finding the right spot, being able to knock down? Everybody says, "Oh, you got to make a couple shots against the going," but it seems like so unique. But and it's coming, right? It's no secret. No. So what like give some insight just for me selfishly. Forget everybody else. Like, talk to me here, man.
I mean, I think they just make it uncomfortable. They're in different. They have a different zone that most teams are accustomed to. You don't play it often, so it's like almost like it kind of catches you off guard, even though you prepare for it. And they just kind of base you to shoot a contested, a late contest 3 from the zone. It's a matter of just kind of breaking that zone and being aggressive. When you're younger, it's different. Like your mindset, you come into that game and the confidence you come into that zone is different, especially if you aren't like a lockdown shooter. I was an all right shooter, but I'm a way better shooter now, so it's like someone who likes to create and come off the dribble. It isn't like the most fun game for you because the game's slower and the spacing is not there. So you really just gotta pick your spot.
And they just always like have the right dudes, you know what I mean? Like the length in the right spots. They got like a little shifty white point guard who can knock, you know what I mean? Like it's just that combo of all of it, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, no, they recruit well. It works for them. Now, Syracuse, it's crazy growing up watching them and actually playing against them. It's the real deal.
Yeah. And so let's get into it. I mean, you make the tough choice after your junior year to leave Virginia and then redshirt. I mean, Iowa State, you have a huge year, 19-5, like you kill it. But like, why or how or what was the thought process there about moving on and sort of and making that shift?
For me, it was the fit. Like I said, like coming out of high school, I kind of, I wish I would have did a little bit more of my due diligence as far as like how my style of play would fit with that team. I've always knew like how capable I was offensively, and with the freedom, if I would have had, I feel like the things I could have done, I think I probably would have been more effective, Now UVA, the style of play, it's a lot more, especially when I was there, it was a lot slower. The possessions are fewer. It's a little bit, you don't really feel as, free to take some of the shots that I know I can make at a consistent and efficient level. But again, it's just a different style of play that, not everyone feels comfortable in. Some guys do really well in there. And I did all right. I had a really good years and, was always a main part of the team. But my feeling and how, well I know I could play and where I wanted to go, like going to wanting to be drafted and go to the NBA, to do so, I knew I had to be somewhere different where I could showcase, my ability to, play on both sides of the floor and, help lead a team and have a bigger role and a consistent role where I could be free. And leaving there was like, decision I knew I had to make, and I was comfortable and confident that, the year to follow was going to be the year for me.
Interesting perspective. But I think you're bang on. I mean, I think it's probably one of the biggest knocks with college basketball, right? Is sometimes, you watch and it's like 15-18 at halftime. You're like, I already coach bad high school basketball. I don't need, because it's just it's so structured and it's so X, O, B here, do that. It's very robotic, which I understand. The coaches get paid to win games, but it's the NBA. I think since your time at Iowa State, like the freestyle play of the NBA has advanced so far, right? Like it's ball screen mismatch, just play. You got a legal defense, no hand check. So whereas college, it's just like, so it is an interesting thought process that you had to go through, because you're right. Like if you're at Virginia and you finish your 4 years and your last year, you're like 10-8.
Yeah, it's amazing as the team does well, and but like for me personally, I didn't know I didn't want to leave it in someone else's hands, or what I mean. I wanted to go out, without any regret, never looking back, thinking that if I went somewhere else, I want to have that for the rest of my life, So it was a no-brainer for me, for sure.
I love that. Church on a Monday, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. My guy. I like it. I like it. You got that quiet confidence in you, man. I can tell just by your body language how you carry yourself. I like it. It doesn't come across as negative. It's just kind of, you can see that it's like, listen, I'm going for it. Let's be honest. How many men or women in their junior year would go, you know what? I'm going to go out of here. I'm going to redshirt and I'm going to have a senior year somewhere else. Like there's a lot of risk to that, right? With who knows what the reward might be, would have been. But as you know, life is about stepping out of your comfort zone and making choices. Going to New Jersey when you're in grade 12, when you don't think, and people are saying, I'll just stay in Ottawa, right? Making these choices. Yeah. So it's good, man. Good reflection.
Yeah, for sure. As long as you control what you can and live with the results, I'm good with that, for me at least.
Say less.
It's also being real with yourself too. If the players that are maybe in that position that might not feel comfortable with their team, but aren't like doing the work, to, get what they want or but they feel like they deserve, you're just going to end up in the same situation somewhere else. I knew I was going to leave. I had a year to just train and just, sharpen my craft and my weaknesses. And that's what I did religiously that year off. I was just in the gym, training every day, 2-3 times a day, just trying to get right, waiting for my opportunity. So as long as you feel at least have that similar mindset where, you're going to take matters into your own hands, like feel confident making any decision.
In case you didn't know, our second sponsor, ATO Basketball, aka ATO B-Ball, located directly at the Langley Event Center in British Columbia. This place has everything you need. I swear, if you walk in and you're a hoop head, there's nothing you won't be able to find. Sale items, Jordan, Adidas, Puma, you name it. The brands are all there. Shoes, jerseys, retro, current, Vancouver Bandits. You can even get every basketball you name. Shout out to our boy Jeff at ATO B-Ball for willing to be a sponsor to us. Go check them out. Check the store, mention us, and who knows, you might find yourself lucky. Thanks to ATO B-Ball. It's funny too, isn't it? Like sport and life are so similar, right? Like it's the same, if you weren't a basketball player and you had a different career, but you were just satisfied with sort of like you're in your job in your 5th year and you're thinking, I see myself differently. Can I move to upper management? Can I do this? Or you just sit at that desk and sort of work your 9 to 5, or do you take a risk and try to change, right? They're very hand in hand. Um, it-
Right. I'm at that age, I'm starting to realize that too.
yeah.
It definitely goes hand in hand. Even just how you live on off the court, your play on the court. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that it's a close to same with people doing different jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be right off the court, off whatever work your personal life and your everyday life got to be right too if you want to go places in your work life.
Sheesh. Let's go. Why Iowa State?
Well, when I went there, I just wanted they instilled that confidence in me that they let me be free. And when I went on my visit, in any school I was going to, that was like the mandatory. Like if I'm coming here, like as long as I again put in work and I'm locked in, like I don't want to be held back. I want you to feel my confidence in my work and my ability to play and help lead the team and help win games. And Coach Chrome, God bless him, man. He kind of not gave me his word, but he told me like, yo, as long as you're working and you're doing what you're supposed to do, I'm not gonna put. He's gonna give me the freedom to be myself. That's all I could ask, and he definitely gave me the opportunity to be me. Definitely grateful, and yeah, Iowa State was already written. I feel like it was just it was meant to happen, and it was just a great year for me.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, the numbers say it all, and it's got to be a good feeling to. I mean, you did the work, right? So that the results showed that, but just to have it work out and sort of get that stress off your chest, and then you're that senior year, and you're thinking NBA, and how do you start to shift your mentals there and sort of like get focused on draft time and figure that out?
Well, once we lost, I mean, I think I did a decent job of just staying present. My 2 years was there when I was there. All that off, you're just focusing on trying to get better. And that year, I was actually playing, which was focused on, just trying to get better and just trying to win. As much as we win, as long as we're all winning, I think we'll stay relevant. And that's where my head was at. So I wasn't really thinking NBA until we lost. We got upset first round. Then immediately, I was my focus on the next thing. And as I prepared for that, I was just trying to get my body right. Extend my range and just work on my craft and just again control what I can. During those few months before the draft. I think he did a good job at that.
And so what is that process like for you? Do you stay at your school? Do you go where you're comfortable back to Ottawa? Like who are the people you're leaning on to help you work out, train, and sort of get yourself and your mind right?
I went to LA. So I was staying in LA for a few months. I was working out with Chris Johnson, really good trainer out there. And he was the perfect guy because he's super intense. He knows the game. He's showing up every day with the same energy, locked in, trying to, help my dreams a reality. So that was obviously grateful for that. I could appreciate someone who wants to, wants me to get better as much as I want to get better. So it was a perfect match working with him. Got to learn just different, NBA moves that, could translate in different, the way they play out there at the next level, and the speed, just different tips that I was learning every day. And it was great for me to go out there for sure.
How'd you make that connection? Did you sort of do your own research? Yeah, it's like
my agent at the time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, my agent at the time set that up. But he's a really well-known trader. He's trading a lot of guys, and I think Chris is the man. He was really good for me. Definitely improved my game.
Yeah, and then sort of the process starts to get closer and closer. Did you work out for teams? Who'd you work out for? I mean, obviously the Sixers take you, and then
out.
Yeah,
I worked out for half the league almost.
Damn.
Being an older player in the draft, you wanted to have a lot of eyes on me. So I was just going in there trying to, kill guys in the workouts, and be in front of the most guys I could possibly be. So I worked out for maybe 13 teams. So that was a grind, just traveling, workout, staying in the hotel, traveling, workout. It was definitely a grind, but you do it once. I tried to stay present and enjoy it. It was great for me, and it helped. It helped my stop. Even though I had a really good year, still just, you got to continue to improve that, you're an NBA guy. So just going different draft workouts with other guys, other draft prospects, and, playing them, help get me drafted.
Pay attention, people. He said stay present multiple times here. So stay present. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, got to.
Yeah, I've listened to many podcasts of dudes who have talked about the draft process that, that weren't necessarily going to be a lottery guy. It was like, they said the same thing, like it was challenging, like just sort of from city to city. When you get a call, you got to go, and just sort of that grind of just like always having to be ready to get that workout in. Seems like it's pretty taxing, but it's just got to be done. And like you said, take a step back and think about where I'm at. I'm in an NBA facility working out, trying to make a team, which is, let's make the best of it. No point in tripping over it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't look at it even at the time, I didn't look at it as a bad thing. It's exactly where I wanted to be. Like, go out there and play and show your NBA player is all I could really ask for, and I was able to do that. So it was right where I needed to be. And I'm glad I did it, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then, so, just talk a little bit about that, and then sort of just the ability to bounce back and continue with a positive mind frame and always thinking next moves, think forward, that's when, it goes from, all right, this is D1, that horn goes on that first round upset game, and now you're a pro, right? And you see what pro basketball is like pretty quick. So how were you able to work through all that and continue to strive? I mean, you're still such a young dude. You got so many more years ahead of you. But at that time, not being able to reach your ultimate goal, how does one work through that?
I mean, what do you mean by that question? Like, even by not being able to reach my own goal?
I mean, you made it to Philly, and then sort of you're on and now you're currently playing for Maine, right? Are you signed with them?
I'm gonna be a free agent this year. So,
okay.
No, I see what you mean. No, I mean,
so just sort of those ups and downs, right?
Yeah, it's ups and downs. I mean, again, it's because of the basketball. You're being a basketball player for a lot of guys, But for my take, it was a great year. I played really well.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get as much opportunity as I wanted. Just playing on a veteran team, team that had really high expectations that didn't meet them. But I got to learn a lot. I learned a lot. Again, when I did play, I tried to play as hard as I could, and I did it, but I could control. Obviously, I learned from some things I wish I could have done, or things I just didn't know as a rookie. But again, I'm just got to keep it rolling on to the next, and how could I improve? And as a basketball player, and whatever situation I'm at, how can I make the most of it? Is where my head's at. You can't really dwell about where I want to be or where I was. You know what I mean? Because it's not going to really get me anywhere. But again, I'm in a great space. I'm having fun still playing basketball. It's my dream job, and I think it's going to be interesting to see what's to come, because I feel like it's always just been always been that way for me. Just a different route than some, and I'm surrendering to whatever happens. I'm excited. I'm excited for what's to come.
Have you always had this mind frame? Is it a family thing? Did you learn it from siblings? Just sort of that ability to because never a lot of people are glass half empty people, right? Not half full, right? So is it something you learned over time? Or are you just trying to brush me off? I'm playing.
No,
it's very predominant in how you speak, man. And it's clearly part of your mindset. And we talked about meditation, breathing right off the start. So I'm just curious. It's not everyone has that.
It's something I've always tried to do, and maybe didn't know how to do it or do it at an effective way, rate. But I've gotten better at it as I, aged and matured as a basketball player and as a man, and then just going through hardships, not being in the NBA isn't, what I wanted, you know what I mean? But feeling those feelings and, kind of just looking yourself in the mirror, and, trying to see what's really going on and how can I improve is what, I try to, get myself back into that space. But, I kind of, just really try to get better at this way of thinking and this way of living. And I still am trying to continually improve. Definitely made, some great strides, especially in this past year. This past year was huge for me. But yeah, I think I always have room for improvement, and, I'm excited for what's to come.
Nice. Did you get a chance to meet Prosper Karangwa with the Sixers?
I don't think
he's in the office there now. Okay. He's a CJEP guy. He played out in Montreal and then went to Siena, and then he's in the with the Sixers. I was just curious, but
nice.
So it wasn't always G League though, man. You went overseas. What was that like? You talked about being off the grid. Maine is not as off the grid as Turkey is, right? But talk about those experiences and sort of after things with the Sixers. Is it I'm going to take what I think is the best situation for me? Financially, NBA wise, bit of both. Again, decisions, right?
Right. Now you got to weigh in a lot of factors. Obviously, you want to, make a living and help your family as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
make good financial decisions. You know what I mean? Is a factor you got to play, and also just like where you want to be and who you want, what kind of player you want to be. Well, if you want to be in the NBA, you want to go overseas. Always going to be factors for a lot of players. But yeah, for me, like coming off the COVID year, so my rookie year was COVID. Like the year stopped, which was interesting. You know what I mean?
Damn, no doubt.
Yeah, so my rookie
I never
year,
even thought of that.
Yeah. So it shook up a lot of things. You know what I mean? For a lot of people, especially coming into the next free agency, like guys taking different deals, taking minimum wages. It was minimum deals, and it was just it changed. It was a trickle down effect, and it affected pretty much everybody. So I decided just to go to Turkey just because I wanted to still play at a high level and still play for my worth. You know what I mean? I think that first year I proved that I was a two-way, and I proved that I could dominate the G League, and then wanted to experience something different to still continue to play for my worth. So that's what I ended up doing the first year. And it was a great first experience in Turkey. That I did a few months out there for that 2021 season, and decided to go back next year, which wasn't the best experience, but did learn a lot, and it helped shape me from where I am today. For sure, because that was a really tough year for me. That past year, 2022 season. So yeah, getting through that season, learning from that, and taking myself and my confidence back up to be where I am now. It's like it all makes sense why I had to go about that the way it did.
Was it like a coach just sort of not getting the minutes you want? Like, were they bringing in dudes over you? Just sort of never really got in the mix. Like, and then it must be hard. That's the dark side of it, right? Is you're over in Turkey and then you're different language, different country, different foods, all these new things. Plus, your career is to play ball, and it's frustrating for you. So there's a lot of things that you have to like maintain a level head on.
Yeah, for sure. A lot. The frustrating part was, the variety of things. I was doing a lot of personal stuff too, but
sure.
More so I signed to a different coach. Like off rip, it was things got kind of tricky. Was considering just staying in the NBA. Had a really good year, getting interest, but the way they go about it in EuroLeague, they pretty much want to know if you're going to come to the team around early June, whereas the NBA season at the time, because it was running late, didn't even finish till almost July. So it was I had to make a decision in 2 days where I wanted to take, this situation or, wait it out and see what happens. And the situation presented to me was, it sounded great. You know what I mean? I was going to be able to be free. The style of play was going to match my style of play. And financially, it was great. So it was maybe I could just do another year, dominate, but I felt like I was going to do going into EuroLeague and, hopefully come back to the NBA. But the coach had left a month after I signed, and I, was in a different situation. You know what I mean? And the style of play, the energy there just wasn't it wasn't a match for me. You know what I mean? I really truly never felt super comfortable. And then I was a lot more younger, maturity wise. So I wasn't as strong mentally to get through that, or at least prepared mentally to go through those ups and downs over there in Europe. So yeah, it was just quite the experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. And that wraps up. And Ben, I think maybe I'm trying to delete it from my brain, but I always forget about the COVID and just the impact. Even in U Sport, we have a couple good players from our high school team this year, and it's a lot of these teams have, in U Sport in Canada, have 24, 25-year-old dudes because there's been this delay, right? And so it's really shaken down a lot of different things. And then obviously come to Maine, have some big games, do some big things. And now we're living the free agent life. Is there any insider info you want to give Hoops Journey here or what, man? Nah.
No, I can't. But no, Maine was the perfect situation for me because I was about to be able to show myself,
nice.
Show the world who I was again. You know what I mean? I got, coming into this year, got to really just lock in on how I wanted to approach it. The main thing was just trying to get mentally just strong. So, go through the ups and downs of any situation. And I think when it came into the season, feeling good. My body was coming off of, I was injured also out in Turkey too. So I missed half that year too. For the first time, not playing basketball. So just coming through all that type of stuff, wanted to make sure there was nothing was going to stop me this year, whether it was mentally or physically. And it showed on the court. Probably had my best playing, year on the court before I got hurt. And what's to come now is the World Cup. I got the World Cup in August. Nice. I think that's going to be a great opportunity for me to show everybody I'm still healthy. And the world stage to just show who I am again. You know what I mean? I'm excited for that opportunity to play for my native country, South Sudan. And I think we're going to surprise a lot of people. I think our team's going to surprise a lot of people. They're already a really good team. So actually my high school connections there. Luol Deng is the president of that team. He went to Blair Academy. My high school coach was there. Head coach went to Blair Academy. So it's going to be a real, family vibe there. And I think we're going to surprise a lot of people. So I'm excited for that. So yeah, that'll be in August.
That's dope. And so what do they do there? Is it like train and then get together kind of a week or two before the event and sort of get some stuff in? And, they're sending you film and things right now, but a couple weeks of practice before? Yeah,
that would pretty much be it. It's training camp before the exhibition games, and then you just play.
Nice. That'll be dope, man. Well, dang, that's cool. He's the president, did you say?
Of the team. So he started like the basketball program that we have for our country, and he's been doing great things. Man, he's the man.
Seems like an amazing guy.
Oh, he definitely is. He's pushed the game, forward for sure. In Africa and South Sudan, and for me, he's been someone to look up to since I was a kid. So Marial's the man.
How much pride is that getting to wear that jersey?
It's everything. I mean, I played playing Team Canada.
Yeah,
and that's obviously prideful. I'm Canadian, born here, so there's that connection. But like playing for my native country, my peoples, my parents, it's something that they can really feel real proud of. That country, going through the stuff that they're going through right now, it could be a light. You know what I mean? For the people back home. So I'm excited.
Nice. Well, we wish you luck in that.
Thank you.
Don't sleep, people. Don't sleep. All right, let's do some kind of fun questions. We'll get on your way. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
If you're a basketball player out there in the Lower Mainland or BC in general, and you're looking for somewhere to play, we have a proud sponsor, and that is PGC Hoops. You can find them at pgchoops.ca. And the thing that makes them unique and that we're proud to sponsor them and them be a sponsor of us is it's a true nonprofit basketball organization found in the east side of Vancouver. The mission is cost-effective elite basketball for all. Find the website, take a look, register your kids, register yourself, look for the programs. And if you have any questions, reach out to me and we can contact you with the right people. This is a good program for the right reasons. We appreciate you, PGC Basketball. Did you read the email?
Yeah, I skimmed through it.
I skimmed through it.
But I really wanted to answer freely. I didn't want to.
Nice twist. This guy's smart, man. He's smart. Yeah.
You're going to ask me if I like ketchup on my macaroni, right? I skimmed through it a little bit.
Okay, and?
Like ketchup on macaroni when I was younger. Now it's like, when I'm done.
Offside, right? A grown ass man.
Ketchup is, for fries. I feel like it's getting like a little because like the size of Chipotle mayo and garlic aioli. Like ketchup is like a dying breed. You know what I mean? Yeah, I appreciate good ketchup, but not on my macaroni. Not on my macaroni.
Oh, it's a dying breed. You know what? You ain't wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah,
that's a good twist. You're right. It is. Yeah, you go to a restaurant now, there's like 5 options other than ketchup for your fries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
That's facts. All right. Books or movies?
Books or movies?
Yeah, like if you had to choose, what do you prefer?
Ooh, man.
Both?
I feel like if I say both for sure. Okay. Now, definitely both. Before, when I was younger, movies. But okay. I've definitely read more books than I've watched movies in the past year.
Okay.
Not even close.
Yeah. Is there a read or two that stands out to you that you might suggest to the listeners that you think would be, and it doesn't matter what, it can be anything, whatever you like to read, doesn't have to be, but if it is sports related, but.
Which one? I mean, this is kind of like, life related. 5 a.m. Club, Robin Sharma.
Okay.
Robin Sharma?
Yep.
Great book. That book actually, that book was like super, like it touched me personally, just because it's helped shape like how I wanted to start my day, taking care of the front of my day, so the rest of my day can take care of itself. It's like, kind of like the, just that book. And that's, I've been locked in since I read that book. My mornings have changed and my everyday has changed, and ultimately my life has changed. So that book is definitely what I would recommend.
What time's bedtime though?
To me?
Yeah.
Nowadays, summertime, 11 o'clock, 11:30. I'm not really up late unless it's like I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Back when I used to watch TV and shows and movies a lot, like I'd catch yourself binging,
Get
being
lost
up
in it.
late. When I had social media, like I just got it back literally yesterday, but but before just scrolling, I was up, So I didn't have much things to just keep me up. I was, getting up early and getting tired late, so go to bed pretty early.
So you went off the radar, man. You dumped social media,
Oh, yeah,
all of
yeah.
it. I just had to clear the mind, or what?
Yeah, I needed to clear the mind, the distractions, all the stuff that comes with it.
It's crazy.
I think I was able to get back to my true self after going off social media since since the beginning of September, till the other day, till yesterday actually. Well, Sunday yesterday, yeah.
And how'd that feel? Was it good?
At first, it was like withdrawal. I'm picking up my phone,
For real?
scrolling like nothing's there. Just trying to find different things to do, like with hours on that thing. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I was consumed by it a lot. Just the scrolling, whatever. But no, it was great for me, man. I got over that part, the withdrawal part, and just started just trying to figure out what I actually do and what do I enjoy and what I want to do. And then as time goes on, I was just living a different life.
Imagine being like 13 to 17 right now. Like think about how goofy you were, right? Like,
yeah.
And then you get that thing in your hand and it's like, and I'm just as guilty. I feel you. Like you're making me feel guilty, right? Like I thought I was big time when I got rid of Facebook, because Facebook's just for old people now, right? But it's true. You get you can literally get lost for an hour when not even blink,
No, for real.
We were laughing about like during the playoffs, we have a group chat and we're like, who's actually watched a full NBA game without commenting on the chat about something, Right. I'm like, I have my phone with me I'm not engaged in the game. I'm like, I'm waiting for someone to make a comment. It's interesting. I like that.
I noticed that. I noticed that for sure. Just like how I could actually, I'm paying attention to whatever I'm watching or whatever I'm doing, like for a longer period of time, like without, picking up my phone to, scroll. Like I'm actually watching TV shows the whole way through without stopping and scrolling on something or replying to something. But yeah, no, it's a more peaceful life for me,
Yeah.
But social media has become almost so necessary. You know what I mean? Like having this camp is what brought me back, but promoting it the right way. That's why I came back. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to, it's going to be a good test trying to fall back into those habits.
Yeah. Well, the good part is you went through, and so you know what it's like on the other side. So if it becomes overwhelming, it won't be as hard to just walk away, right? Yeah. Right. You and 4 other players are, but we're on the blacktop here. So call your own, first to 15 or whatever. Who are the
4 other players from where?
Your world. Well, I mean, you could do it like your favorite NBA, or you could just be like your people, like your favorite teammates. Bring bro and sis. I don't know. It's up to you, man. It's up to you.
Blacktop. I'll just keep it. I won't keep it NBA. Blacktop. I'll keep it Ottawa. Actually, that'd be even better.
Yes.
I'll keep it Ottawa. At my 1, I'm choosing Greg Carter. Say Defensive Player of the Year, maybe twice. But people don't know about Greg. He's in high school, a lot of games that got kind of cleaned up for college, but like a lot of game and a crazy competitor. I put Greg, St. Pat's guy. At the 2, I'll be the 2. At the 3, I would do. Matter of fact, at the 2, I would do Johnny Brand. Out of you guys, shooter. He'd be the 2.
We had Johnny on the show.
Oh yeah? Yeah. He'd be the 2. Really good shooter.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought you were going to say was the 2, and I was like, damn. Yeah. Bump you to the 3.
I'm just because I'm bigger, but I am a 2. But because I'm bigger, I'll be the 3. And at the 4, I would do my brother. Super nice and didn't play much in Canada, so a lot of people don't know, but super nice. That was my guy growing up. And then the 5, I do Anthony McIntosh, another St. Pat's guy, big brother to me, super nice, Lakehead guy too. That'd be my 5. Yeah.
Now, when they were at Lakehead, is this like they playing for Scott Morrison?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Yeah. That's a good dude.
Yeah, that's a hoops journey right there too. Who have been some of the most important people in your life up to this point?
My family, for sure. Like the reasons I talked about earlier, my dad, my mom, sacrifices they have, their work ethic. yeah, no, for sure. My family's my aspiration, my people I take knowledge from, my example.
You have a few days, you feel like you're going to maybe break the diet, go to the store, but you're in Canada, okay?
Yeah.
Because there's options here that we don't have other places. So what bag of chips? What's the go-to bag of chips? And you can have a top 3 too. It's your world. Just
not even a chip
this
guy,
is the first
though.
time you're not?
I'm not a chip. I'm more of a sweet guy. I'm not a chip guy.
Okay.
I'll eat chips once in a while. I'm not a chip guy.
Okay, so then pause that. What are we getting then? We getting some Swedish berries, some Sour Patch?
I'm not even a candy guy. I'm more of like a pastry. But that's why, I'm not even eating. What I don't even know. I don't even know.
Just pretend you're me, man.
I haven't been in Canada in 10 years to even eating junk food like that. I would know like the top of my head anymore.
Ketchup chips to go or no? Out.
Ketchup chips are pretty good. I might say. I haven't had them in years, but
all dressed.
Whenever I do have some, they surprise me.
Do you?
Yeah, I like that white cheddar popcorn. I think they have that in the States too. Though.
Smart food.
That's fire.
Yep.
I don't know what else is there. I think they have nice. But I do notice they have in Canada, they don't have in the States, is the chocolate milk, like chocolate bar stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Like a rolly drink or like a like a crispy crunch drink. One of those type of drinks.
Crispy crunch, like drink of
They don't have those in the States, and those flat. Those definitely for sure. I actually had me one like the other day. A rolling one, but
the problem with the white cheddar is just like gets all over your fingers, man. You go touch the remote and you're like, dang. It ends up everywhere. It's like a murder scene, man.
It's a commitment. When you try to eat those, take one bite, you're in it. You're in it to win it. For real.
I believe the kids that I coach would say on God. They would say on God to that. Yeah, right? Not cap. They would say on God. All right. 2 more and we'll get you on your way, man. Okay, you got it. You can take anybody you want. It's your choice. Best seat in the house for a concert. The artist can be dead or alive. Doesn't matter. Who are we going to see?
Ooh, that's tough. Just one?
Yeah, give us a couple. Let us know more about you.
Okay, different genres. I'm a big music guy.
Yeah?
Bob Marley for sure. Live concert, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be nuts. Outside, preferably, that'd be crazy. Michael Jackson, the obvious choice. That'd be the best,
Many people have had classic MJ, and what a show that would be.
Oh, I think Tupac would be great for me personally.
Hail Mary.
I think the energy, the quality of song. I mean, the relatability. Like that'd be a concert. That'd be a moment for sure.
What a list!
Yeah, those would be my three ideal concerts.
Picked all dead people, man.
Yeah, I can see the ones that lost. Hopefully.
What does that say about the music you listen to now?
I'm definitely back in the day. Oh, sorry, I lit outside of crazy. Probably hear that, but but no, I listen to a lot of older music for sure. Old soul, yeah, definitely old soul.
I would say that people would have picked up on that by now, man. Definitely old soul. That's a good thing. That's not a knock. That's respect. All right, man.
Thank you.
We would like to just say thanks for a great episode, but is there someone out there, you and I have gone back and forth. You've been working through your journey. We've been in the weeds waiting patiently to get you on and let you share your story. And it's been a pleasure to get you know a little bit more. But is there anybody you out there that think has a good story that's will be good on a hoops journey, but you got to help us kind of make the connect, You're the plug.
Yeah.
They don't have to be Canadian either.
Oh, they don't have to be Canadian. It's true. And I did just work out with Noah Kirkwood. He just spent a year in the G League. Not sure if you guys had him on there.
No.
I think he'd be cool too. Cause just hearing him talk today, it was cool to just see a different route to get to the NBA G League, and it'd be cool to see his story, hear his story. I think that'd be cool. I could try to. I'm gonna work out him this week, so some more, so I can ask him.
All right, man. Yeah, it's not for everybody. Not everybody likes the podcast platform. I mean, 1, time and trying to get organized, but 2, it's just like. But if he's up for it, Let's do it.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I'll definitely ask him.
Sounds good. Any last thoughts, reflections, man? Thank you so much. We wish you continued success. Hope the World Games there, whatever, they go really well in August. Travel safe, and I hope you play well. And then wherever basketball takes you, man, much love from us at the show, and we'll be watching, man. And it was great to sort of a guy who's like, you've been so all over the place. I think there's so many players in Canada, especially, which is, we're Canadian most, but kind of maybe not get lost. So it's nice to just reconnect and bring you back to the forefront and sort of have people hear your story. And we hope that you get a great turnout for your showcase and everything, which is a very cool thing for the community of Ottawa. So last thoughts or anything before you go?
Oh, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. Look out for me in the Shayok Summer Showcase. Try to come and support if you're in Ottawa. Even if you're not in Ottawa, all donations are going back to the teams to help grow the game and push the game forward. So that's pretty much it. And then, everybody just be well.
Pay it forward, man. It's good for your own soul, and it's good for other people when you can look out and do things for them. So much respect, man. I mean, the things we wait for end up usually being really good, and this was super fun, man. So it was nice to connect, and get us that link. We'll help you promote your camp and continued success for you and your family.
Well, dude, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
No problem, man. Thanks to everybody for listening. Thanks to our sponsors, and we'll see you on the next episode.